Hey guys, this is Mehak from Coding Blogs, and today we have with us Pallavi Vashne, and she's here to share her success story with all of us. So, hi Pallavi, please introduce yourself to everyone.
Hello, Mahek, ma'am. I'm Pallavi. I'm currently doing my master's in computer science from BITS Plani, Goa
Okay,
campus. Uh,
okay,
I received an offer letter from PayU as a full-time employee, which is going to start in maybe July, but they have
next.
not given us a date.
Okay. So, our heartiest congratulations to you for that, for cracking the
Thank
interview of PayU. Okay,
thank
so Pallavi, let's have a word regarding your journey. How did you get into this line? What motivated you to choose coding as a profession?
Talking about myself, I did my BTech from a normal tier 3 college. So in that time, there were no product based company or very less product based companies visited my campus. So my that time I was not much clear when I was including my college, but by the time I exited, I was sure that I want to go into a product based company, and that's how I developed a keen interest in coding. And because I wanted to work as a software developer in the product based companies, so I developed that interest from there, and that's how my coding journey started.
Great. So, which team you will be a part of in this PayU company?
Specifically, they are not specified, but
Okay.
they have given me a job role of software engineer. So it's a developer role. Team wise, they will make me more clear when I receive the proper offer letter. They have just given intention letter of intent right now.
Okay. All right. Okay. Great. Okay. So, let's talk about the eligibility criteria and the hiring process. So, firstly, was it on campus or off campus placement?
It was an on-campus opportunity.
Okay.
PU visited around in the late August in my college. So talking about my whole process specifically to my college and campus, there are three campuses as everyone knows: Pilani, Goa, and Hyderabad. So
Hmm.
earlier, PU visited Pilani, and after like within a week they visited Goa campus.
Okay.
So eligibility criteria in my campus was only it was open only for MTech, the CS,
Okay.
and cutoff was 7 CGPA.
7
So
CGPA. Okay.
yeah, so means it was not open for all other branches. It was specifically for computer science only. And so the cutoff we met, many people met. Cutoff was 7 CGPA is normal, it's not
Hmm.
so high. So talking about the process, they had one written round, and
Okay.
after that, two interview rounds means technical rounds and one HR round.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what kind of questions were asked in these, technical rounds? I mean, majorly कौन से topics पे they more focused upon?
Yeah. So, talking about the written round, it had 20 MCQs, which was more on core areas like computer, uh, remember databases, computer networks was also asked, and algorithms. And two coding questions. So one question, so the marking was not uniform. One question was of 20 marks, and other question was of 50 marks.
Okay.
So first question was an ad hoc question. It was not very tricky, and I think everyone tried that question. Second question was a major one. It was a 50 marks question, and people were not able to. We were means everyone was not able to crack that question because the question. If I means if I jot it down, it was something like you have to find the maximum size sequence of a integer from an integer
Okay.
array follows
Hmm.
the triangular inequality equality. Sorry. So we were all struggling that it's a DP or greedy question, but it comes down that the topic was maximum sliding window. So that was a means that was I think major point which PU people focused on that how we perform in our round. So yeah, I think I don't know about others, but I cracked both the questions. So Even my interview was uh, organized first from my campus.
Okay. Okay. So next was HR round after this.
No, there were two technical rounds before this. Each was of 1 hour.
Okay.
So as the corona is going on, so we are doing online interviews only currently. So it's becomes off campus, no on campus, very much difference. And one thing is that these my interviews were scheduled sequentially. So there was not even a break for 5 minutes. So as the first interview closes, the second interview begins. So I was my first interview hadn't completed yet before the second interview was already ready. So it was like there was 15-20 minutes already eaten up. So my interview got little shorter. Second interview was little shorter, and I felt like this is very bad because the number of questions reduces. People are not working in that time when
Mhm.
they're doing the conducting the interview. So they are very specific to the time duration. They will not allow you more time. So
Obviously.
that's
Yeah.
that thing.
Okay. So what kind of questions were there in this interview?
First interview, only two questions were there.
Hmm.
So he was checking, I think, more my coding abilities because he asked me approach and he asked me to define the time complexity and space complexity, whatever solution I was proposing to him. Then after that, he was even more focused that if you can optimize it, if you can make it more less lesser complexity wise, even means so I had to means in 4 or 5 iterations I was like okay we can, because I started that time with brute force. So let me name the question. The question was very simple. It was a dictionary with some good words, and there was a string of words, and we have to find out how many good words are present in each word of the string.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so something like that. So he was like, "Hey, how what was the approach you are going to use?" So I applied. Firstly, I went through the flow. I went through the brute force. After that, and then I optimized the question, and it was around 30 minutes, which took me to
Okay.
completely means he was satisfied with my answer and complexity, and then he said, "Okay, you can go for coding." So finally, I got the code. So second question was a basic means very standard question, subset
Hmm.
generation, so which Pratik Bhaiya has
Okay.
already covered in the class. So it was a easy go, but during the I think time got up. 1 hour was already closed, so 1 hour was completed. So he gave me his email ID and asked me to mail me after like it was like you can write the code and submit to me or mail it to this ID within 10 minutes. I have to take another one's interview.
Hmm.
So after 15 minutes, my placement coordinator was like, finish it up, had to schedule another interview." So it began like that. Began around 20 minutes from the scheduled time.
Okay.
So talking about my second year round, it was a complete mix. They tested me on every scale, means from system design question to my projects to my coding abilities. So it was a mix of everything, and I think I will say means I talked to my peers also in other campuses. So they were like, yeah, it's a little stress round. So they ask questions which are not in your reach, or you have not generally not adopt questions on operating system and all. So they try test you on so that even if you have just heard of the concept, how are you answering those questions?
Okay. Okay. So how long was this, process? These rounds were. How much
So
time
they
did you get it?
were they are supposed to be one round.
Okay.
During this corona situation, everything means I have done internship also. So that time my rounds were little longer because it depends on the candidate how well they want to interact with.
Hmm.
But we are not sitting face to face, not meeting them face to face. So they like they just ask the questions. They are not means technical interviews are not, they are not interacting with you. They are just
Hmm.
focusing on how well you are performing. So it was strictly 1 hour.
So how different it is, from face-to-face interview and the interview that you're having, these days due to coronavirus.
I read some of the tips. I mean, I saw some video of Arnab Bhaiya also
Hmm.
from Coding Blogs. He mentioned that sometimes interviewer is not so engaged in your interview,
Yeah.
and he has some other works to do. So he might not take much interest in your because they are just it's their duty. They are just following the norms. So luckily that never happened with me. The interviews were totally engaged when I was giving the interview, so I don't have to like, okay, sir, I have done this. Can you look at it? So he was always there. So I didn't face that challenge, but I have heard with many of my colleagues that they face this kind of challenge. Second thing, I was like. That when you are giving interviews face to face, they are very friendly, and they judge you on other things also, your personality, and how you are behaving, even you're taking stress or not. If you are means while solving the problem, if the problem is tricky and you will like, oh god, you are making any sad face or not. But this day, as we are doing online, so this is I think favorable for candidates who are little shy or get nervous. So
It's
they
a plus
because
for them.
you just have to showcase your coding abilities. So that thing hide up.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So last was the HR round. So how did it go? What kind of questions were asked in that round?
Yeah, so in PayU, they specifically mentioned the timelines that this will start from this slot and will go till this time in evening. So I didn't receive the calls. I became little panic that time that if the slots will have finished and they have not yet called me for HR. So after slots were completed, and I received the call after 40-45 minutes that there is a HR. So it was a sudden call, and generally in our colleges, companies are coming like multiple companies can come on a day. So you have to appear, means you are finished with one round and you have to appear for another. So in my case, that was also the scenario. There was another company whose test was about written test was there, scheduled for an hour. At the time, HR asked me for an interview. So that thing was managed by my placement team. They asked me that the candidate has to give a written round as well, so please make it shorter. So they didn't dig me down much, but yeah, they asked me some behavioral questions. And how was my internship experience? I did a summer internship, so they asked me. And even pre-placement offer is also a big thing, that if you're doing the summer internship, then mostly you can settle it down. So they asked me questions about that, like, did you receive it or not, what happened, and all.
Okay. Okay. So after giving this interview, so what are the topics that you would like to highlight that one should practice before going for the interview of P or maybe any other big companies?
Topic wise, I would not say that you should specifically means target any particular company.
Hmm.
You should focus on every topic, whether it's DP, BD, or trees, or maximum sliding window, or any arrays question. What I would recommend is that you should go for lead code medium questions.
Okay.
Means like I got rejected from few companies before getting placed. Like I got rejected from Qualcomm, Mathworks, and one more company taken. So my phase was I had not done much uh, practice. Like I had some, because I took a data structure course from Coding Blog, so that created a foundation for me in my the preparation, that I knew I means I like hand code then all the data structures, map, whether it's map or other SQL stuffs, or even writing a tree graph. So that thing I became aware of them. Before that, I was not so fluent with all the data structure that I can code anytime. So that thing worked well. But coming to questions, I couldn't solve the questions very speedily within a given span of time. So that led my preparation. That's why I
Hmm.
think sometimes I failed in few companies which visited my college and I couldn't crack them. So after that, what I did was I started rigorous practice. I did around 5 6 questions on lead code that were basically medium questions and from different topics. Like I used to do one question of backtracking. I used to pick them randomly, like a slot.
Hmm.
On lead code, what you can do, you can just search,
Yeah.
put the tag and search it.
Hmm.
So I used to do that thing that I used to put backtracking and pick one whatever question I feel like that it will be difficult by seeing the title. So one backtracking, one tree question, one array question, one string question. So that kind of a list I choose to prepare and try to solve them within a like 2 3 hours. So that I because my college was also started, so I didn't get off track of the time and I increase my uh, aptitude within the span of time so that I can crack the written rounds very fast. So that's how I prepared, and I think others can also means not to blindly follow these things, but yeah, they can look at this strategy, and if they find it useful, they can follow some of the tips.
Okay. So so you talked about interview experience with your internship experience as well, and there must be some projects that you worked upon. Just the questions they must have asked. So what major role do you think these projects play?
Coming to on campus, I find that mostly their focus is most much higher on DSA part. Then comes the core part and the projects. So specifically for PayU, they first of all the second interviewer asked me to tell briefly about all the projects which I have written on resume. So I
Hmm.
just told him about the titles and which domain they belongs to. And after that, he picked a project and asked me questions and very general questions on that.
Okay.
Like I did a cloud computing course in my first year. So I he picked that project and he asked me questions from first sem. So I had revised and it was a very common topic, like it's very popular topic, SQL versus non-SQL databases benchmarking. So it was a very popular topic, and so he was very interested, like how you approached the project, means what type of data set you used, what was the size of the data set. He even asked me specifically that what was the size of the data set. So I was like, it is in some MBs, 220 MBs around. So luckily I checked that thing before interview, so I remembered that what was the size of the data set. So he was like, okay, you are not using the concepts of distributed systems very well, because NoSQL is a distributed database and it should use because the size is not so much, then you are not going for distributed. Like you should have gone for GBs of data set. So I was like, so I explained him well that why didn't we go for that big size of data set, and then he asked me what in what scenarios you will recommend no SQL database and when SQL database. So he went thorough with that, and it was a general question, not specific to what I did during my
Hmm.
project. So yeah, they play means having a one or two good projects on your CV. I would recommend that, and for on-campus opportunity, because in on-campus they don't have much time to means dig down and check your development skills. They are mostly on the DSA part they are focusing on, but having a good development project, I feel it will be good. It will just add your CV, it will also give you a glance that during when you work in the company, you don't get like, oh my god, so much work. If you work on a good project, you will be like, yeah, how this process goes, and it's okay.
Cool. Good. Okay. So so it was on campus for you. So let's say if someone from tier 2 or tier 3 college wants to apply for PayU, so how do they go about it? Where should they apply? Any postings that they post?
Talking about my journey, I can relate to it because I did my BTech from a tier 3 college only. So before going for my masters, I was struggling for a off-campus job. So I had tried various things in that domain. I went for referrals on LinkedIn. I built connections, and I even used to like there was a slot from in morning when I used to check all the sites of the career sites of the companies and apply to various positions open there. So I think if someone from tier 3 is applying, they can go for career sites. It is not like that you will not get call. I got a call from Adobe that time, but it was a software developer engineer in test position. So I think Adobe is one company which looks for developers from tier 1 only. I'm not sure, but generally what I've seen is that they are not they for tier 2 or 3 they are going for test positions only. So I used to apply from the career site, then LinkedIn, then I used to personally email my seniors if they can provide me referrals. So if same I think will go for PU as well if someone is looking for an off-campus opportunity there.
So I believe it's very important, especially these days, to have good connections and referrals that you can have.
Yeah,
Go for
absolutely.
great.
And
So
right now YouTube is on boom, so I think there are so many channels. Even coding blogs organizes some seminars that way how to approach these companies from tier 3 or 2 colleges. So that thing gives insight how can you go. When I was looking for YouTube was not on that bus like 2 years back, so I didn't had much knowledge in how to go for this. So that's why I went for masters. That I thought that this is the only way. But yeah, now the opportunities are very common, and you can look for knowledge from everywhere.
definitely. So Pallavi, any last advice that you'd like to give to the viewers
Uh, Regarding what cracking the
regarding
placement
the
on campus.
preparation, regarding coding, when they should start, regarding projects they should make and companies they should apply for, anything? Any last advice?
Yeah, I would say that if you are focusing mostly on placements, 4 5 months preparation will be best. If you give means that time you have to be like on your toes that prepare all the questions. And if you're a beginner, if you're not a beginner and you had a decent amount of time invested already in coding, then it will work fine. People, what I've seen recent trend is that companies are going for lead code compared to interview bait or geeks for geeks. People are mostly looking into this because I have even talked to my friends. They are like Google recruiters are also recommending lead code right now. The lead code links that practice from there. So people should right now the most popular platform I would say is lead code, and make it your daily habit that you should code at least 2 hours a day, or not specific to time, but at least the number of questions you should target that. Even it should not be like you should it should strike you immediately that even if it's a graph question that you should be already on your it's on your fingertip that how to create a graph, and then go for how to solve the problem next approach. But data structure should be highly on your tips that you have well versed on that. And good puzzle solving also comes great, so you can look into these features also. And don't leave core topics. They are also asked like operating system, database, computer networks. These all things are also asked by interviewer. Mostly they means I didn't face anywhere means I'm not sure. Maybe because we are doing it virtually, so they are not having much time. But yeah, they ask mostly means all these things should not be asked. Should not be left by anyone.
Great. Great stuff. So thank you so much, Pallavi, for joining us today and sharing your success story and your interview experience with us. So thank you for it. And guys, I hope you got some great insights from Pallavi and you like the video. Thank you so much.
Thank you.